Israel and Israel has instructed its diplomatic missions in Europe to try to get the Iran-backed Houthis in Yemen designated as a terrorist organization. The Houthis have repeatedly fired drones and missiles towards Israel in what the group describes as acts of solidarity with Palestinians fighting these Israeli forces in Gaza. The attacks have disrupted international shipping routes, forcing firms to reroute to longer and more expensive journeys that have in turn shocked fears as far as global inflation is concerned. So they've repeatedly been firing those drones and missions towards Israel, and that is what is being described as not just a threat to Israel but also to the region and the entire world. And that is what is the statement that has been made by the foreign ministry in that very statement that they have put out, saying that they are now asking diplomats to seek Houthis listing as terrorists.
נשלים עם העובדה שהחות'ים ממשיכים לירות על מדינת ישראל. אני הזהרתי ואמרתי שכמו שטיפלנו בסינואר בעזה, בהנייה בטהרן ובנסראללה בביירות, אנחנו נטפל גם בראשי החות'ים בצנעא ובכל מקום בתימן. אנחנו נפעל גם נגד התשתיות שלהם וגם נגדם כדי להסיר את האיום.
And to get more on this, we have Zaki Zaidi joining us to get us more on this. He's the former researcher, Institute of Defense Studies and Analysis. Thank you so much for speaking with us. In regard to, the Israelis there, the government asking for Houthis to be listed as a terrorist organization, how serious do you think is the Israeli government about designating the Houthis as terrorists?
Morning, Divya. Thank you for having me on your show. Israel is pretty serious because the kind of impact, as we saw in the past week, Houthis are already under blockade, sanctions, and they managed to fire a missile from Yemen and hit Tel Aviv, the main city, with reported injuries and like that. So right now, Israel is very in a very confident mode after killing Hassan Nasrallah. According to their own terms, changing the regime in Syria, weakening Iran. So Yemen is the last standing kind of a thorn in their way. So Israel is going to try everything possible, lobby to the European nations and US and even the Arab nations to designate it as a terror organization. But one thing that is going to complicate is that the Houthis are in truce for more than a year after the Saudi and Iran deal, after the Saudi-Iran normalization. And they have specifically and categorically said that their issue is only with Israel. The day Israel has a ceasefire in Gaza, they are going to stop their attacks.
Right. Also, what kind of operations would Israel be willing to take in order to eliminate the threat of the Houthis?
In the previous two attacks we have seen, they have attacked Sana'a and Hudaybiyah, and there is a port. So right now, the previous Europe and US, they have targeted the military sites in Yemen, because of the threat to the global shipping lines and citing that threat. But Israel has targeted the civilian infrastructure also, the petroleum reservoirs, the electricity grids, and the ports, the cranes, everything, because the port is the main lifeline for Houthi rebels to import the foodstuffs and materials into their country.
Right. Also, have the Houthis been weakened owing to Iran's plummeting influence in the region, and how would they take on Israel?
Definitely, at least other what Iran says, that axis of resistance, that many especially this after the fall of Bashar al-Assad and death of assassination of Hassan Nasrallah, that axis has definitely weakened. But Yemen, especially Houthis, they act on their own. They as how much has been claimed that they are Iranian, satellites or something like that. but their objective has been clear. They have sustained the 8-year-long bloody war with Saudi coalition, and this ceasefire was achieved like around a year and a half ago, after the Saudi-Iran normalization. So it's difficult because the Houthis don't see their victory and loss from the point of view of like some territorial gain or something. They say that it's their moral obligation and religious duty to stand up to Palestinians, and nothing will deter them, no matter what
Right.
sort of bombing is there, what kind of damage, material damage, or human lives are lost.
Right. Thank you so much, Zaki Zaidi, for joining us with all that insightful information regarding what is the stand that Israel will be taking in regard to listing Houthis as a terrorist.